And good evening. I think we are finally live on Facebook. Here is the KCAL Old Time Radio Troupe. And we hope you're doing well on this Friday evening, and we are going to bring you another live broadcast. Excuse me for looking down. I'm wanting to make sure that everything is running right, and we are on the air, and I think we are. Hi, Norman and Denise.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Doug.
Good to see you, sir.
You know what? If COVID hadn't have hit, we would be opening our spring show right this minute at the theater.
We sure would.
Now, this was the weekend we were supposed to do that, and because it's still kind of iffy, we thought, we need to wait and let everybody have a chance to get their vaccine, and hopefully by the end of June, there'll be less restrictions, and we can bring everybody in the house.
Right. We're looking forward to it, I'm telling you.
So, that's our plan, is we're going to do this tonight for you, and don't forget, you can watch it over on Facebook. Once David does all his magic to the end product, then we'll have it on YouTube, and we'll go from there, and hopefully we'll have another one maybe in next month. Now, with that being said, I want to bring in our performers, and then I'm going to make an announcement about something else. To start with, we're going to have, and it's been a while since we had this, but we've got our crooner here tonight. Yay. Roger Garrison. I think I'm
Raj.
Somewhere. Roger, are you in the house?
Where you at, Raj? Hey, Raj.
There he is.
Unmute your mic there so we can hear you. There you go. Hi, Roger.
Hey, everybody. It's great to be back.
We've missed you. It's been a little while since we were able to have you, and we appreciate you coming in. And you're going to give us a good song here in just a moment, I think.
I hope so.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
Well, spring officially started about 6 days ago, and our show tonight has to do with, in fact, it's called Spring Cleaning, and Roger's going to sing a song in a little while that we thought would be appropriate to start the spring season. And when you hear that, you'll understand why. Okay, next up, let's see if we can get people here in order of appearance somewhat. Dave Damron, are you there somewhere?
Mr. Dave.
I think there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Hi, Dave.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing?
Doing great.
Good to have you back.
Ready to get back at it.
Seems like we just did one of these about 3 weeks ago, didn't we?
Kinda.
It does.
Well, somebody else that's here tonight that was on that show 3 or 4 weeks ago, whenever we did it, Carolyn Threlkeld is back. Are you there?
There she is.
Hey, Carolyn.
I have arrived.
All right. Carolyn back in the saddle, and another person that was on the last show, Boston Blackie, Larette Latham. Where are you?
There she is.
Where's she?
There she is.
Hey.
Hi, Larette.
Now, we've added a guy that we haven't seen in a little while since last year. One of our other crooners. He's not going to sing tonight. He's going to perform in the play, but Billy Holland, are you there?
Oh, Billy. There he is.
Billy.
There's our man.
Was he trying to look like Richard Nixon coming in there, Billy?
He's not a crook. He's not a crook. Dave, there's one for you to write about.
There you go.
Okay.
And finally, we left her to last just because she's kind of the lead role in this particular play. Anytime we do an Our Miss Brooks, the lead role is a school teacher named Connie, and what better person to play it than a real school teacher named Connie? Connie McDonald.
There she is.
Hey, Connie.
Hi, Miss Brooks.
I didn't do it.
Go to the office.
Well, there's our whole bunch, and we're going to perform an Our Miss Brooks. Before we do, though, I want to tell you just a real quick couple of things. First off, I want to remind you again about our website. All kinds of videos. In fact, the Boston Blackie video that we did 3 weeks ago is on there. Dave's edited it all up and made it look real nice. And you can see that anytime you want. All the videos, there's pictures, there's all kinds of stuff on there for you to see. That's the first thing. 2, you're watching us on Facebook. We will have this on YouTube as soon as he gets this particular one edited, and that'll be on in a week or so, according to how long it takes.
A day or two, Dave said.
Yeah, just a couple hours, right, David? I got one thing to say, though, about that Boston Blackie. I got a bone to pick with him. Well, actually, I got a bone to pick with Jimmy Buffett. All those years I've been listening to that. I wish I had a pencil-thin mustache, the Boston Blackie kind. I never saw a picture of Boston Blackie with any kind of mustache.
I haven't either. You're right.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to tell you, and we mentioned this earlier, on our Facebook page and on our website, you'll see our schedule of events. We are planning, if everything goes right, to try to have Fairy Tale Theater at the end of June back in the theater. We may have to, instead of setting 50 tickets per show, we may have to cut it back to 30 or 30. We don't know yet, but we're going to do everything we can to try to get that to work. And then we've got September dates already set. We've got December dates already set.
Right.
I also have been, I haven't even told you guys this yet, I also was contacted the other day by Bobby Carpenter down at First Vineyard. She said, we need to set a date for this year for you all to come back.
Oh, yeah.
Perform at the Vineyard. So we'll
That's
do
a great
that.
time, guys. If you've never been to that, you need
Please
to check it out.
do yourself
fun.
a favor.
Beautiful.
A lot of fun. And the last thing I want to say before we start is, and some of you know this, we have officially secured for November the 5th, Jessamine Christian Church to have a live gospel sing like we had back in 2019. I went and took the paperwork to them today. They are excited to have us back. I've already contacted some of the singers and have some of them already committed. And so we're going to try to plan on doing that November the 5th at Jessamine Christian, just like we have before. And once again, we'll be passing the plate for the Jessamine County Schools homeless education program for those kids that need help. Right. So
on your calendar.
Yeah, mark it down. So a lot of people have been excited. We had one online last fall and did pretty good, but everybody wants to get back and see it in person. So the performers are excited. We're excited. So that'll be coming, something to look forward to in the fall.
Great time for a great cause.
Yeah, great cause.
Okay, is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
All our people ready, and I know you all are out there ready for it as well. Again, this is Our Miss Brooks, which was a great comedy, started on radio, went to television, starred Eve Arden, and we've done, in fact, a couple of these already at the theater, but we thought we'd do another one. This one's called Spring Cleaning.
Anacin, the tablet thousands of physicians and dentists recommend for fast relief of the pain of headache, neuritis, and neuralgia. And Bicidol mints that quickly rid stomach of gastric distress. Present Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. We'll start tonight's episode, Spring Cleaning, after first hearing from KCAL's own crooner, Roger Garrison.
It's cherry pink and apple blossom white when your true lover comes your way. It's cherry pink and apple blossom white, the poets say. The story goes that once a cherry tree beside an apple tree did grow. There a boy once met his bride-to-be, long, long ago. The boy looked into her eyes, it was a sight to enthrall. The breezes joined in their sighs, the blossoms started to fall. And as they gently caressed, the lovers looked up to find the branches of the two trees were intertwined. And that is why poets always write, if there's a new moon bright above, it's cherry pink and apple blossom white when you're in love. It's cherry pink and blossom white when your true lover comes your way. It's cherry pink and apple blossom white, the poets say. The story goes that once a cherry tree beside an apple tree did grow, and there a boy once met his bride-to-be long, long ago. The boy looked into her eyes, it was a sight to enthrall. The breezes joined in their sighs, the blossoms started to fall, and as they gently caressed, the lovers looked up to find the branches of the two trees were intertwined, and that is why the poets always write, if there's a new moon bright above, it's cherry pink and apple blossom white when you're in love, when you're in love, when you're in love, when you're in love.
Good job, Ross. It's time once again for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks Transcribed. But first,
here is something you should know if you ever suffer from the pain of headache, neuritis, or neuralgia. It's an incredibly fast way to ease the pain. It's Anacin, a way countless numbers of people have found superior. Anacin acts so promptly to relieve pain. Anacin is like a doctor's prescription. That is, Anacin contains not just one, but a combination of medically proven active ingredients in convenient tablet form. Thousands of persons have been introduced to Anacin through their own physicians or dentists. But today, these tablets are in such widespread use that all drug counters have them, and everyone can have the benefit of their incredibly fast action. So if you want to relieve the pains of headache, neuritis, or neuralgia, by all means, try Anacin on this guarantee. If the first few Anacin tablets don't give you all the relief you want as fast as you want it, return the unused portion and your money will be refunded. I'll spell the name for you. Anacin. Easy to take Anacin tablets come in handy boxes of 12 or 30 and economical family-size bottles of 50 and 100. Ask for Anacin at your druggist today.
well, it's spring cleaning time throughout the country, and our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High, is not one to sit idly by as her landlady cleans the house.
No, indeed. I can watch better standing up. Not that I'm lazy, but Mrs. Davis, bless her heart, refuses to let me help, and for a very good reason. She says she knows exactly where to find the dirt she's been pushing around all winter. Last Thursday morning, as I entered the living room, she was already hard at work, and I hated to interrupt her. Mrs. Davis? Mrs. Davis? Mrs. Davis?
What is it, Connie?
Please turn that thing off. Well, that's better. Mrs. Davis, did you make breakfast for me this morning? Because if not, why, I could just...
Why, of course I did, dear. Don't you see it? I just finished waxing the table, so I put your bacon and eggs on the sofa.
Where? I don't see any bacon and eggs on the sofa.
Why, they're right over there on... Oh, my... Oh, Connie, as soon as I empty my new Jiffy vacuum, I'll give them to you.
No, thanks. By that time, they may be a little too well done. Well, I'll simply have to get breakfast. Mrs. Davis, did you say your new Jiffy vacuum? You just bought a new Clean All 3 weeks ago. What did you need a Jiffy cleaner for?
Oh, I really don't need it, dear. But you should see this salesman. Oh, any woman would gladly put a down payment down on a cleaner with Mr. Murdock. I have never seen anyone like him before. And besides, he said you had recommended me to him as a prospect.
Well, that's true. Several weeks ago, in an unguarded moment, I recommended 20 names to the Jiffy Vacuum Cleaner Company at $2 a name. But that was before you'd bought your Clean All.
Now, don't you feel badly, Connie. Mr. Murdock is due back here at 8:15 sharp, any minute now, to collect his $10 down payment. And if you think you can resist him, you handle him, dear. I'm just a lump of soggy putty in his hands.
Well, you better unsog, Mrs. Davis, because I'm going to throw him out just as soon.
Oh, Connie, that's him. Oh, is my hairnet in place? Are my sneakers on straight? Oh, be still, my foolish, palpitating heart.
Mrs. Davis, please. It's going to be hard enough to throw him out with you hanging on to his leg. Now just keep quiet and I'll do all the talking. I'm very sorry, my good fellow, but...
Hello, baby.
Honey.
Hey, where'd you get those great big beautiful eyes, honey? Doesn't the gorgeous blonde talk at all, Mrs. Davis?
Oh, yes, but I think she's in a state of shock. Won't you come in, Mr. Murdock?
Why, certainly, Mrs. Davis. And what do you say, baby?
Mrs. Davis, lock the doors. That is, by all means, come in, Mr. Gable, Mr. Peck, Mr. Brando.
No. Murdock is the name, honey.
Oh, Murdock.
Harry Murdock, and I'm regional sales manager for the Jiffy Vacuum Cleaner Company. But when I came by last night, Mrs. Davis never told me I'd run into anything as completely ravishing as you. You get me, honey?
Dear, close your mouth and answer the man. No, that would never work. Connie, I thought you were going to do all the talking.
I'm too busy listening.
Won't you sit down and have some hot chocolate with us, Mr. Murdock?
But before you do, Mr. Murdock, there's something Mrs. Davis and I have to tell you.
Yes, sugar?
Well, 3 weeks ago, she bought, that is, we already have.
Yes, honey?
We have a.
What do you have, baby?
Well, we have hot chocolate, coffee, soda pop, yummy yogurt. You can have your choice.
Some other time, honey. I haven't got the time right now. I've got to close this sale and then get
yes.
going.
That's just it, Mr. Gable. Mr. Murdock. Mrs. Davis had something she wanted to tell you.
Yes. You see, I wanted to tell you that
What did you want to tell me, gorgeous?
Oh, here's your $10. Well, where do I sign? Where's that paper? Where?
Right here, beautiful. Here's my pen. Ah, that's a girl. That's fine, Mrs. Davis. Allow me to congratulate you, sugar. You made a wise investment. And now, girls, I should bring in the attachments to show you how they work, but I'm a little rushed. So, what about tonight? At 8? Will this evening at 8 be all right with you, Mrs. Davis? Honey? And how about you, Angel? Great. I'll see you both sweethearts tonight.
Oh, if I were only 20 years younger. Connie. Connie?
Yes, baby. What, Mrs. Davis?
Dear, why did you let that beautiful man sell me a second cleaner?
I wonder if it's legal for a man to have 5 dimples on one face.
And you told me you had plenty of sales resistance. Oh, Connie, I simply can't afford to pay for 2 cleaners. Not that I hold it against you for sending Mr. Murdock to me in the first place. But after all, it does make you a little bit responsible.
I know it, Mrs. Davis, and I'll get the money back and the contract from Mr. Murdock tonight. I've thought of a way to resist him.
Oh, but how, dear?
I'll just meet him at the door, blindfolded, with my ears plugged up, and if I keep 20 feet away, his thought waves won't mean a thing. You wanted to see me, Mr. Conklin?
Well, I didn't get a Charlie horse chasing you down the corridor for nothing. My office, please.
Yes, sir.
Now, Miss Brooks, to come directly to the point, why did you send that vacuum cleaner salesman to my poor befuddled spouse last night?
Oh, did your wife buy a Jiffy cleaner for Mr. Murdock, too?
Yeah, she almost signed up for one with the passionate pitchman. But as luck would have it, I ducked between them just as she was about to sign.
Really?
Oh, yes. Took me an hour to wash the signature off the side of my face. Now, Miss Brooks, I am on the verge of selling my old car today for $60. And Miss Conklin is on the verge of spending that $60 toward the purchase of a new Jiffy cleaner.
You mean you finally got a customer for that decrepit old car of yours, sir? Why, it's hardly run in 10 years.
Hardly run? Why, it's the cleanest Stutz Bearcat on the market.
Move over, Mr. Murdock. I've met your master.
Now, I suppose that's how the world goes, Miss Brooks. The men sell, the women buy. That's the main reason I asked you here, Miss Brooks. I've asked the Jiffy people to send their salesman here to my office at 8:50 sharp. He'll be here any moment now. And I want you to see how Osgood Conklin has developed his sales resistance at a point to where it is a veritable walls of Jericho.
Mr. Murdock? Here? Oh, no. Please, sir. Even if he doesn't sell you, the ricochet may trap me for 12 months. Now, if you'll excuse me,
Oh, one moment, Miss Brooks, one moment. You need a little lesson in sales resistance. Come in, sir.
Well, hello, handsome. You wouldn't know where I could find Mr. Conklin, would you, Brown Eyes?
Oh, well, he's out right now. Could I be? Oh, I'm Mr. Conklin.
Well, I wasn't expecting anything as wonderful as this. I'm Lola Perry, sales representative for the Jiffy Vacuum Cleaner Company.
You're the salesman they sent over?
Why, yes. You were expecting me, weren't you?
Oh, yes. But not quite so much of you. I was expecting you, but in a slightly different shape. What I mean is...
Oh, maybe you were expecting a taller person.
It was a difference entirely.
Miss Brooks, haven't you got something to do?
Well, I could push your eyeballs back into their sockets. Not right now, sir. Nothing. I'll just sit here and watch your sales resistance. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho, Jericho.
Miss Brooks, I'm certain that you have a class to go to.
Oh, pardon me, Brown Eyes. I'm interrupting something. I can leave.
No, interrupting anything? Oh, no, you're not interrupting anything, my dear. Not a thing. No, you just sit right down here, my dear. Just sit right here. Oh, let me help you. Oh, well, there we are. Now, are you comfy?
You'd make any woman feel comfortable, handsome.
Oh, good. And I'll just sit right here next to you on the tippy end of my desk. Now, what can I do for you today? What can we do for you? You name it, anything at all.
And the walls came tumbling down.
That will do, Miss Brooks. I'm talking to Miss Perry.
You certainly are handsome. And Lola can tell by talking to you that you're the strong and protective type of man who likes to make it easier on women like us.
Oh, I do.
Just one of those was enough to get hooked for life.
Oh, I know you do, honey. That's why your signature on this paper and a teensy-weensy down payment isn't going to keep you from giving your wifey a jiffy cleaner, is it?
No, indeed. It's not going to keep me. But just a moment. There's something I did need to say.
Yes? What did you want to say to me, Brown Eyes?
Here's your $10. Where do I sign? Where?
Right here, big boy. On this line right here. That's it. Oh, thank you so much. Well, I guess I'll be going now.
Let me float you up. Let me walk you to the door. Oh.
Goodbye, Brown Eyes.
Goodbye, Miss Perry. Ooh, Lola.
You just bought $120 worth of ooh la la.
Miss Brooks, what's a mere $120 when a strong, protective man tries to make it easier for the women all over? What's a mere $120? My God, I've been shanghaied!
Well, I suppose that's how the world works, Brown Eyes. Mr. Conklin. The women sell and the men buy.
Miss Brooks, since you sent the Jiffy Company to my household in the first place, I hold you completely responsible. Now, I want you to go get my $10 back, and I want you to get that contract back. Now, let's see if there's anything else that I want you to do.
No, sir. There I draw the line.
Draw the line?
Yes, sir. If you want to get back Lola Perry, you're on your own.
Friends, if you suffer from acid indigestion, I hope you didn't miss reading this wonderful news. A headline that says, New Mints, medically proven, quickly rid stomach of gastric distress. That headline is talking about new Bicidol mints. Doctors recommend Bicidol mints because the Bicidol medication acts at once to make painful acid harmless and gives you fast 5-way relief. 1, speeds relief from gas. 2, sweetens your breath. 3, gives complete longer lasting relief than baking soda. 4, relieves stomach upset from too much eating, drinking, or smoking. And 5, lets you sleep when acid indigestion strikes at night. So don't suffer acid indigestion and heartburn or gastric distress from excess acidity. Remember, new mints, medically proven, quickly rid stomach of gastric distress. And remember the name Bisodol mints, Bisodol. Get Bisodol mints for fast relief.
Well, when I recommended them as prospects, I had no idea Mrs. Davis and Mr. Conklin would be charmed into buying Jiffy vacuum cleaners, which both of them needed like a hole in the rug. Anyway, they both managed to make me feel like the finger girl for a vacuum cleaner mob. I tried to forget my troubles at noon when I went down to the cafeteria to meet Mr. Boynton. He had promised to treat me for lunch. And from his first remark, as I sat down at our table, I knew he would be the soul of generosity.
I hope you had a big breakfast, Miss Brooks.
Yes, and I plan on having an even bigger lunch, Mr. Boynton. Breakfast was 4 hours ago.
Oh, I know, but living a highly sedentary life like we do, much of our caloric intake turns to nothing but flabby blubber.
If we have more than a thimbleful of cottage cheese, we're absolute pigs.
Frankly, as far as I'm concerned, if there's one thing that makes a woman attractive, it's a nice, slim figure.
And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, if there's one thing that makes a man attractive, it's a nice, fat wallet. Mr. Boynton, if you don't want to treat me to lunch today, why keep beating around the bush? Just come out and say it.
I don't want to treat you to lunch today. Well, that is, I want to, Miss Brooks, but I can't. You remember a week ago I was saving to put $10 down on a new suit?
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Then you bought a suit.
Well, not exactly a suit.
Oh, a sports jacket?
Not precisely.
What did you buy?
A Jiffy vacuum cleaner.
Well, I know you'll look perfectly stunning at a Jiffy vacuum cleaner.
I know what you're going to say, Miss Brooks. I live in a rented apartment and the landlady cleans my place once a week and I have no earthly use for a vacuum cleaner.
Then why did you buy it?
Ooh la la.
French for even a biologist sometimes deserts his frogs. So Lola Perry paid you a visit too.
I still can't figure out what happened. Phew. All I know is I committed myself for a vacuum cleaner, which I don't need and can't afford. Not that I hold you personally responsible because you sent her to me, Miss Brooks, but
you're convinced you saw my face last week on Racket Squad. Well, actually, Mr. Boynton, if you'd shown a little more sales resistance.
Hiya, Mr. Boynton. Hiya, Miss Brooks.
Hello, Walter.
Oh, what an entrancing sight. The fairest flower of Madison's faculty, seated next to Madison's most generous, big-hearted, philanthropic.
Forget it, Walter. All his money is tied up in ooh la la cleaning equipment.
But all I wanted was to borrow $50. I'm in a little financial jam, Mr. Boynton. You see, I invited Harriet to lunch, and now I find out she hasn't got the money to treat me. Couldn't you just advance me 50 cents until next Wednesday?
Well, you see,
I hope you two had a big breakfast, Walter. Don't you usually get your weekend allowance about this time, though?
Yeah, usually. But right now there's a big economy wave at my house. It started last night when my father bawled out my mother for being too extravagant.
For being extravagant?
Yeah, she bought a Jiffy vacuum cleaner.
That Mr. Murdock is really sweeping the country.
But Walter, if your mother actually needed a vacuum cleaner, why did your father ball her out for extravagance?
Well, because an hour before, Dad had bought a Jiffy vacuum cleaner from a beautiful doll. Oh, you should have seen that Miss Perry. Ooh la la. You can't look at her without...
Hello, everybody.
Oh,
hello, Harriet.
Well, Walter, did you get the O-Day for the unshlay?
No, he didn't get the O-Day, Harriet Hay. But I can let you have an up-bay until A-Day payday, okay?
gosh. Decoded, that means we eat. Come on, Harriet. Let's dive into the navy bean soup.
Hold it, sailor. Harriet, is your father still angry with me?
Oh, awfully angry, Miss Brooks. All morning he's been on the phone arguing with the Jiffy people. But it seems they only cancel contracts with unreliable customers. They seem to feel that school teachers always pay their debts, though.
And we've got the pawn tickets to prove it. Say, wait a minute, Harriet. You've given me a thought. I think maybe I can persuade them to take back all those cleaners.
Persuade? Well, swell. But where can you rent a Tommy gun in this town?
No, I'm serious, Walter. Bring both of your cleaners to my place before 8 o'clock tonight. Mr. Boynton, you do the same. And you too, Harriet. Now, here's what we're going to do. When Mr. Murdock arrives at my house...
Oh, I think I understand. You're going to convince him how low your sales resistance is. Say, that's pretty good, especially a woman with your resistance.
Yes, Casanova, how would you know? Well, I thought I had a pretty foolproof way to persuade Mr. Murdock to take back his vacuum cleaners. And since I needed her help, later that evening I explained my idea to my landlady. Now, are you sure you understand my plan, Mrs. Davis?
I think so, dear. We've got to convince that gorgeous Mr. Murdock that we've loaded ourselves with debts because we have no sales resistance.
That's the idea. We've got to convince him that we're such an unreliable family that he'll take back all the cleaners around here.
And while we're at it, maybe we could convince him to take me back with him.
Mrs. Davis.
Well, a girl can dream, can't she? Oh, but Connie, I only hope your plan is... Oh, Connie, that's him. Oh, it is him. My goodness. Oh, where did I put my sedatives?
Oh, now, Mrs. Davis, there's no time to get flustered. We've got to show a little self-control.
Oh.
That's it, self-control. Now, is my lipstick on, my head on straight? I'll take it.
All right, dear. I'll be right back.
Hello, baby.
Where do I sign? Where? Oh, Mr. Murdock, please come in. I was just helping Mrs. Davis finish our spring cleaning.
Your spring cleaning?
Yes, I always do my housework in this old off-the-shoulder cocktail dress, but as you can see, I have my Jiffy vacuum right here with me.
Ah, yes, so I see. Wait a minute, honey. If your Jiffy is here, what's that? That sounds like a vacuum too.
Oh, I know. That's what's wonderful about your Jiffy. You can tell their sound from a carpet sweeper in a second.
What I meant was, I had no idea you had two Jiffy vacuums.
Honey, Oh, hello, dear Mr. Murdock. Oh, did you just buy another Jiffy from him, Connie?
No, Mrs. Davis. This is the same old thing we bought this morning.
Well, dear, the bag in my jiffy is full. Now, do you want me to empty it out for me?
Why bother, Mrs. Davis? Just put that one aside and use the jiffy that's in the bedroom.
You've got another Jiffy vacuum in the bedroom?
Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, but Connie, I just dread walking up all those stairs to get it.
Oh, you're right, Mrs. Davis. Then why not use the one in the dining room?
Now, wait a minute, girls. Wait a minute. You mean you bought 4 Jiffy cleaners?
Not counting the one we purchased just to loan out to neighbors.
5 vacuum cleaners?
Mr. Murdock, when we spring clean, we spring clean.
And someone said there's a recession going on. Now look, ladies, maybe we've oversold you slightly. After all, making payments on 5 cleaners?
6. We also bought a clean-all vacuum.
A clean-all?
Oh, please don't be angry with us, Mr. Murdock. We only use the clean-all to clean the jiffies.
6 cleaners?
Oh, I know what you're thinking, Mr. Murdock, that we're an unreliable family. But please don't think that. We've met many a second payment.
Oh, goodness, yes. Why, sometimes months roll by before we get those darling little reminder notes from the collection agency.
Yeah. Look, girls. Maybe I ought to take back a couple of the cleaners.
Oh, but we always make our payments, Mr. Murdock. True, we don't have much sales resistance on smaller things, but we weigh very carefully before we buy the really expensive items.
How true. Why, only this morning we ran an ad in the paper to buy a used car, and a man came over.
And we looked at the car a full 3 minutes from this very window before we bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe I ought to take back 3 cleaners.
Oh, no, please don't, Mr. Murdock. I made a resolution not to buy one solitary thing the rest of this month. Excuse me, please. Yes, sir?
Hello, baby. My name's Phil Boynton, and I'm selling...
I'm buying. What are you selling?
I'll tell you, beautiful. I saw your ad in the paper, and I happen to have a 1929 Chevrolet that's just begging to match up with those great big baby blue eyes.
And to think he's been wasting all this on frogs and... I would have been glad to consider your offer, but only this morning
You what, sugar?
Only this morning
Yes, honey?
Only this...
Yes, baby?
Where do I sign? Where? Do you have something you want me to sign? Like a bill of sale, a promissory note, a marriage contract, a auto contract? Here.
Now, wait a minute, sugar. Now, wait a minute. Miss Brooks, you said you just bought a car this morning.
Quiet, small fry. Now, I'll just sign your little paper, Mr. Boynton. There you are. Now who's this coming up the walk behind you?
Hello, baby.
Mr. Who are you, sir?
Ozzie Conklin is the name, gorgeous. I saw your ad in the paper for a used car. And are you still in the market? Luscious.
Since I was 18. You mean for a car? Well, you see...
Oh, honey, I have a car that's a perfect match for those great, big, glorious, baby blue eyes.
Where do I sign? Where's the paper? Where is it?
This is just fantastic. Miss Brooks, you told me you people weighed carefully all major purchases.
Oh, that's true, Mr. Murdock. Mr. Conklin, do you mind if I ask you a few things about your car?
Oh, certainly, sugar. Ask me anything.
All right. Does it have an engine?
Yes.
I'll buy it. Now, how much is it? How much? How much is it?
Well, would 50 be too much, baby?
Oh, no.
Then make it 75.
All right, it's a deal. Now I sign here, right? Now, there you are.
That does it, Miss Brooks. You people here are the most unreliable customers my company has ever dealt with. And we cannot afford to take the risk of having you as an account. I'm taking back all of the cleaners in the morning and tearing up each and every contract.
But Mr. Murdock, we're really a reliable family.
Oh, yes, I know. I'm expecting any moment for someone to knock on the door to try to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge.
Really? What's he asking for it?